The idea of having a bug on any part of your body is freaky for most people. But one Connecticut boy ended up with a tick in his eardrum, and he ended up in a medical journal because of it. The 9-year-old, who has not been publicly identified, told his doctor at Yale New Haven Children's Hospital that he had a weird sensation in his right ear, according to a new case report published in the New England Journal of Medicine. He said he'd heard a buzzing noise in that ear 3 days before that when he was playing outside at school, but he wasn't in pain, and he was hearing just fine. The boy's doctor took a look inside his ear and immediately saw what the issue was. He appeared to have a tick attached to his eardrum. The doctor tried to remove it, but the tick just wouldn't budge. So the boy had to have surgery to remove the tick, and doctors had to use fine instruments so they wouldn't damage his eardrum. It was later tested and identified as a dog tick. The boy was treated with antibiotic eardrops, and a month later he seemed to be doing just fine. Also, if you have not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these real-life stories every day. Now, back to the story. Unfortunately, this does happen. Ears and noses, ticks can get in there and will, says Edward Walker, an entomologist at Michigan State University. Some even like those sites. Ticks have heat sensors that allow them to seek out warmer places on the body, like your ear, for example, explains Nancy Troiano, PhD, a board-certified entomologist with Ehrlich Pest Control. Still, it can take them up to 8 hours to seek out and find a place to attach, and in those 8 hours, it's likely that they could be spotted or felt by you, she says. But unfortunately, ear invasions do happen, just not all that often, says Philip E. Kaufman, PhD, an entomologist at the University of Florida. Usually, these are discovered at the doctor's office when someone has unexplained ear pain, he says. It's hard to say why exactly some ticks would seek out your ears, but it could be because the skin there's thin and there are a lot of blood vessels close to the surface, Troiano explains. Ticks also like moisture and a good place to hide from their scratching host, Walker adds. That's why they're hard to find once attached to the skin. Getting a tick in your ear is potentially dangerous for a few reasons. If it carries a tick-borne disease like Lyme disease or Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and you can't find the blood-sucking critter, it could continue to make you sick, causing flu-like symptoms like headaches, nausea, joint aches, fatigue, fever, and even rashes on the skin. It can also impact your hearing, Russell says, both if you leave it be and if your eardrum happens to tear when it's removed. As for dog ticks, which are common tick species in the US, they occasionally, but not commonly, like to get in the ear, Walker says. Usually it'll attach at the base of the scalp or on the legs at seams of clothing. Ticks like to crawl upward after choosing a host, which is why it's generally recommended that you tuck your pant cuffs into your socks when you're walking in known tick areas, like woods or other grassy areas, says Howard Russell, an entomologist at Michigan State University. If they get inside your pant legs, it's not too hard to imagine where they're headed. And no one wants a tick bite there, he says. It's also a good idea to treat your clothing and gear with products containing 0.5% permethrin, like this one from Sawyer, when you're going into known tick areas, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC. And, of course, you'll want to wear a tick repellent when you spend time outside, Troiano says. Look for one that contains at least 20% of the following active ingredients. When you come inside, check your clothes for ticks, shower as soon as you can, it'll help wash off unattached ticks, and do a full body check of yourself, the CDC says. Tick season usually runs between April and September, so now is the time to be especially cautious. And if something feels off in your ear after being outdoors, don't wait to get it checked out, just in case. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with someone who may find it interesting. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.